What's up, everyone? I'm Kieran,
I'm Trey.
and welcome back to this week's episode of Builder Sports Live. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Builder Sports Live. As now we give you an inside look of what's been going around at SC the last week. Starting off with men's and women's golf. They take home a third-place finish at the Graceland University Spring Invite. Jordan Clancy shoots 75 in both rounds for a total of 150 and places second overall. And then Cameron Searles shoots 75-76 to finish third place overall, shooting 151 in total. A great start for the guys in the spring season. And then Lauren Kelly shoots an 86 and a 79. She takes second place overall on the women's side.
Baseball had a 3-game series at McPherson last weekend. Game 1 they lost 20-3. Game 2 lost 23-4. Game 3 lost 21-13. Then we hosted Southwestern Christian University, lost a tight one, 5-7.
And then on the other bat sport side with softball, they've played a bunch of games over the last week. We'll start with a doubleheader at Kansas Christian. They fall in game 1 by a score of 12-5, and then in the second half of that doubleheader by a score of 9-4. Then they head to Kansas Wesleyan, up to Salina. They fall 8-0 and 5-0 in those two games. And then a doubleheader, a makeup series at Mission University in Springfield, Missouri. They fall 4-0 in Game 1 and 9-1 in Game 2. And then earlier this week, back at the Broadway Sports Complex, they play a receiving votes Ottawa squad, losing 14-1 in Game 1 and then 8-3 in Game 2.
Men's women's track and field, they were just down the road in Arc City at the Mark A. Phillips Tiger Open. Abigail Eckert, she finished 5th place in the 100-meter dash, 13.53 seconds. Lauren Peterson placed 10th in the 800-meter, 3 minutes and 4 seconds for her. Manuel Reyes, he had a 3rd-place finish in the 400-meter hurdles, 59.94. And then Luke Peffer, as we talked about earlier, he took home a 9th-place finish in the long jump, 6.02 meters.
Yeah, great start to the season outdoor-wise for track and field. They'll be competing again later this week. And then on the side of flag football, they finish off last weekend at number 6 Kansas Wesleyan. They fall 39-0 in that one to a very, very talented Kansas Wesleyan team who had just beat undefeated Ottawa earlier that week. Yeah. And then they come home to Richard L. Jans Stadium, and they take home a nice 26-0 win against Texas Wesleyan University out of Fort Worth. You see Mary Jones, she takes home 3 tutties and 2 interceptions in the game. You're hoping she's on target for Player of the Week awards from the KCAC. Yeah. Kennedy Hayes, she goes 16 for 23 for 177 yards, 3 touchdowns, and then she also has 13 rushes on the ground for 64 yards.
Men's and women's tennis, they were at Bethany College. Both teams fell 0-7. But that kind of wraps up a busy week in Builder Athletics.
Yeah, it's been, as you said, a busy time. We'll see some scheduling move around, we think, the rest of this week because of the incoming rain. But that's it for this section, and after this ad, we'll be back with you guys on Builder Sports Live.
Southwestern Athletics is proud to partner with the Barns at Timber Creek, a premier bed and breakfast, wedding, and outdoor venue near Wichita, Kansas. At the Barns, you'll enjoy the charm of the 1890s with all the comforts of today. Relax in the peaceful country atmosphere, take in the starlit skies, and watch deer, turkeys, and fireflies across the summer pastures. Owners Martin and Cheryl Rood have created the perfect place for a quiet getaway or a memorable event.
Hey, thanks, Trey and Kieran. We'll send it back to you guys here shortly. It is time now to talk some softball. Our favorite time of the Builder Sports Live show, I think, is interview time. We get to bring a couple of student athletes on here along with the head coach, Sarah McAnich, will join us shortly. Senior Taylor Mesna joining us now. Taylor, thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
A senior here at Southwestern, having quite a season. You're leading the team in hits. What are the numbers here? 4 doubles, 8 RBIs. Talk about your approach at the plate this year.
This year, coming into it, I knew obviously it's my last year playing softball, and normally I'm like way in my head about things and I get too like technical. And so this year I've been trying to just keep it like short and sweet when I'm in the box. I'm not thinking about much. I'm just trying to put the ball in play, and it's been working out for me. So
And Coach Sarah told me a few weeks ago she hates strikeouts, right? So put the ball in
true,
play and you're
yeah.
in a better place, right?
yeah, this is true.
This is true.
Make them make errors or make them make plays.
So your approach, taking it not as you're not putting as much pressure on yourself. Is this something you're relaying to your teammates as far as where they've been as freshmen, sophomores, and juniors? And do you see your teammates putting any pressure on themselves?
Yeah, we have a hard time of like getting in our head and like trying to do too much or like swing too big. And so I do try to tell them like, hey, like not to say that it doesn't matter, but saying it doesn't matter kind of helps them do better sometimes. And so I just try to calm them down and let them know that no matter what happens, like it's gonna be okay. So just go up there and swing the bat.
Just go up there and do it.
What's the worst that can happen?
Tell me about your experience at Southwestern on the softball field for 4 years, and how is this team maybe different than some teams in the past?
This team, I think, is probably the most like gelled team we've had. I think I've been blessed all 4 years to have teams that have had good dynamics, but this one, like, there's not many like clicks. Like, I think we all go together pretty well, and we just mesh well together. Yeah.
Tell me about your experiences here at Southwestern. Is there anything that stands out, maybe off the field, that's been memorable that you might tell someone about that could maybe lead them here to the college? Is there anything that tradition or anything that has really meant something to you?
Tradition-wise, I think my favorite thing that we do is like the mound building, obviously, and the rock painting ceremony. Although I didn't make it to my senior rock painting ceremony, I got COVID the day before.
Oh no!
So I got FaceTime during it. I couldn't be there, but that was my favorite part and my favorite thing to do as a team and just as a community and together.
You were there in spirit
I
and
was.
on video.
Yeah, so
So, I
close
mean,
enough.
That's awesome. Tell me about what does life look like after Southwestern for you?
I want to go to get vet tech certified and then continue to go to schooling and then hopefully get into vet school after my certification.
And you're from Del City,
I am from Del
Oklahoma.
City. Mhm.
Do you want to be back in that area? If you like this area, do you want to go to a whole different part of the country?
I think I don't really care where I'm at. I don't know if I want to stay here. I think that Winfield is a good like retirement place.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if I'd want to live here forever, but I think like Oklahoma City and Del City area is good to like have like my middle like adulthood kind of place.
You're hitting me with that retirement thing. See, I'm at that 55. That I get the discounts now. So
Oh yeah,
that's-
early
that's
bird.
something. Early bird. Upcoming weekend series, a couple games with Bethany College. You got a rigorous schedule coming here down the stretch. I see Evangel coming to town later on.
Mhm.
What's the approach? What's coach talking about? What are you as players talking about? Is it just as simple as a game by game kind of thing for you guys?
Yeah, we're trying to take it game by game, especially since we've had a crazy like last week. We played 10 games in 7 days, and so we're trying to just focus on little things that we can do. And like we had an off day yesterday, we practice again today, and I'm hoping that we just like focus on our hitting a lot to try to get runs across the plate and things like that.
Coach gave you an off day.
We got one off day, yes.
Was that worth celebrating?
We get our off days when we need them, but
Okay.
I'm sure it had nothing to do with the weather yesterday.
Yeah, right, for sure, for sure.
It's just the kindness of her heart.
Anyone down in Del City who's watching right now, you want to say a shout out to?
Oh, hey, Mom, hi.
Good supporter, right?
Yeah, she is. She comes to all of our home games and since freshman year, so.
That's awesome. Not too bad of a trip either.
No, it's like 2 hours. Nothing crazy.
Doable.
Mhm.
Taylor, continued success this season. Thanks for taking time out. Great to visit with you, and just wish you all the success coming forward.
Of course, thank you.
Taylor Mesna joining us here. We'll have more right after this on Builder Sports Live. Hey, welcome back, everyone. It is softball time here. We just finished with Taylor Mesna, a senior on the Mon Builder softball team. Now we bring in freshman Aubrey Allison joining us here. Aubrey, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
We let the senior go first. Do you think that was probably apropos? Let leader, she's been here longer, I guess, right?
I think it was the right move.
It
yeah.
was?
Yeah.
Hey, this season batting 239, 16 hits. Tell me about your freshman year here at SC and your adjustment from high school ball to college ball.
Yeah. College ball is very different than high school. I feel like college, it's actually less stressful, but I put a lot of pressure on myself. So I feel like when I'm at the plate, here recently, I just been like, okay, whatever happens, happens. Whatever doesn't, doesn't. That's
Now,
what
Taylor
I had to
just
do.
told us she has just freed her mind.
hmm
Are you taking on that advice, maybe?
Yes, because I'm very hard on myself. So like when I come back in the dugout, Taylor will be like, hey, it doesn't matter. Next at bat, who cares? So I
Just
feel
go.
like we just have to have like a 3-second mindset.
Pitching wise, is the level of pitching that you're facing I mean, I'm sure it's better than what you've seen, but you come from Texas, where I know there's a pretty good softball community down there.
Right. The pitching is it's almost the same. I would say that the speed is maybe a little bit slower than Texas, but the spin is a lot differently. They spin the ball a lot more in college than they do in high school for sure.
Does that bother you? And how good are you at picking that up out of the pitcher's hand?
It bothers me sometimes because it hits me a lot more than it did in high school. I get hit a lot more than I did in high school, but picking up out of her hand is something that I kind of struggle with sometimes.
But you're just a freshman. You're learning the ropes there. You play behind the plate and in the outfield, which I think is an interesting dynamic. Has this been always something you've done?
Yes, actually, yes, sir, I have.
And your preference?
If it's windy, I would rather be behind the plate because the outfield is like the ball will just completely move. But I like the outfield. Sometimes it's more calming than in the behind the plate. It's more of like, okay, I can breathe now. As in, behind the plate, it's like, well, if I miss this ball, then they're definitely gonna run. So.
And your relationship with your pitchers, obviously that pitcher-catcher relationship is something special. How's that come along this year?
I think we have a great relationship. We know how to talk to each other. Sometimes it's really hard being a catcher because your pitchers don't want the feedback that you have to give, but our pitchers are very welcoming and they're very tell me. And I feel like we have a great connection with all of our pitchers.
Off the field, tell me about your what you're doing here at Southwestern. What are you majoring in, and where do you see yourself 5 years from now when softball might be over?
I am majoring in nursing. I want to specialize in pediatric nursing. In 5 years, I hope to be probably at Mercy West and back in Texas. I want to go back to Texas for sure.
What brought you to Winfield? Midland, Texas to Winfield, Kansas is a bit of a trek.
Coach Mack, and Coach Megan and all of our coaches, and when I came here, it was very welcoming, very like a family here.
So as Taylor said, it's good for now, but maybe a little bigger town.
Yeah, I would definitely say I would agree with Taylor. It's a retirement place. I would come back here to retire for sure.
Man, we got a retirement village here in Winfield. Fantastic. Upcoming, we got Bethany College. A trek to Lindsborg. I'm guessing it's going to be your first trip to Lindsborg.
Yes.
No, I got to tell Coach Sarah, no stops at the old Stuga there. That's a place that you're probably not allowed to go to yet. What's you and your team hoping to accomplish? How can you get better as we round out this season?
I feel like we can produce more at the plate. We are starting to do a lot better at the plate than we have been in the past season, but I feel like we could definitely try to produce more at the plate. Our defense is very good, I would say. I think our defense is great, actually.
Especially when you're in the outfield.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just kidding. But I would say just more hitting, producing, less stress on ourselves at the plate would help a lot with us.
You're from Midland, Texas. Do you have anyone maybe watching here right now? You want to send a shout out to anyone?
Hello to my family. Hello to my mom. Thank you, Mom.
Moms are great.
Yes.
They're the best. Aubrey, so glad you're a Mound Builder, and hope you have a great rest of this season, and hopefully we can get you back on here on Builder Sports Live.
Thank you.
That's Aubrey Allison joining us here. We're bringing head coach Sarah McAnich right after this. Hey, welcome back. Don't forget, Trey and Kieran are coming up on the other side of our interview here, but right now we get head coach Sarah McAnich in here. And Sarah, this is becoming old hat. I mean, you and I have spoke at Coffee with Coaches, that deal. We had you, I think, on Game Day Live early in the season a couple times here. This is becoming just second nature, I think.
I think so. I don't know why you guys keep having me back.
And you don't look near as nervous as you did the very first time we did this.
No. Got more used to the headset.
Yeah,
So.
the headset's something to get used to. Great to have you on here today. Talk a little softball. Before we talk about your team as a whole, boy, Taylor and Aubrey, these are delightful women in your program. Talk about each of those two.
I think they're both very special in their own way. Taylor's been a rock here for the last 4 years, been a pretty much starting shortstop the entire time she's been here, except for when she keeps hurting her hand. Aubrey, she's more than just her stat line. She's literally one of the spark plugs behind our team. You come to a game, you feel her energy, you see her bring in it. So they're just very special in their own ways.
What attracted you? Aubrey just told us that the reason she came here is because of you. How did you find her, and how did you sell it to her?
I mean, honestly, she came up to one of our showcases, and you could tell she was nervous. But you could just feel the energy, you could feel the excitement, and that's what we want to bring. We want to bring the excitement at the end of the day. So just, I'm very honest with all our recruits, and I just tell them like it is. Like, this is what we're about, because I want people that want to fit in this to the program.
The players that you keep bringing in, and we've talked about this before, all the things you guys do off the field, giving these girls the Southwestern college experience. This is something that's near and dear to your heart, I know.
Oh, absolutely. Being a student here myself, like, I truly believe in what Southwestern has to offer, and I think we need to keep that spirit alive and keep those traditions alive, and doing the Mound Builder ceremony and doing homecoming and doing that stuff and supporting your fellow student athletes is just, to me, a vital experience as part about being a builder.
I know we've talked to the Female Empowerment Day. We led up to that. Unfortunately, I know when you had it scheduled, Mother Nature didn't cooperate, but you were able to get it in. Talk about that day, that event, and why it's so important to you and Megan shaping these young women here at SC.
So I think it's a really important event because it, one, celebrates our college, which is kind of rare in and of itself that we have so much empowering women at our college. So we want to celebrate them and what they do for our young ladies, because they do so much more off the field than they do on the field. So we just really like to celebrate them. It's really near and dear to my heart because I think it's really important to lift each other up. And at the end of the day, that's what, to me, sports are supposed to do. You're supposed to lift each other up, and it's a great platform to lift up people that typically don't get kind of that highlight. When at the end of the day, you don't think about the professors that are grading papers at 2 a.m. You think about the presidents and the coaches, and it's about them too. They're just as important as everybody else.
And the spirit of your team. I know you Taylor told us 10 games in 7 days, and I know you've been not on the right side of these. Been a losing streak for your squad. Tell me how the team is adjusting to that, and it just seems like their positivity. I mean, I talked to these two, and I feel like they talk like you guys are winning 10 in a row. I love their energy.
I mean, I think energy is a big part of softball, especially we were very tired. We had a lot of away trips back to back to back, 4-hour trips there and back. It's a lot. We had some bus troubles on one of the trips, so that's always fun. But I think it's about keeping your spirits high. We literally talked the other day, we played Ottawa earlier this week, and we talked about just going in with the expectation of winning. And we came back and we bounced back from a 14-1 loss to, we were going 3-1 into the 7th inning with a team that's getting nationally recognized. They're getting votes nationally. So we show that we have it. It's just getting it all together on a given day and trying to get them to understand that we do have it, and we just got to go show it.
Yeah, I thought game 2 was just terrific by your squad. What have you been pleased with this team, and where do you feel like you need to get better to pull out some of these games?
I have been so proud of our defense. We've put so much work into it. If you look at our stats this year to last year, we have less than half of overall errors compared to last year.
You hate errors. Errors and strikeouts, I know.
Errors and strikeouts, yeah. So really pleased with that front. We've honestly showed a really great fielding defense. The thing we need to get better at, which the girls have already kind of touched on, is just producing at the plate. A lot of the times we do a great job of getting people on, but then we don't really do much with them. So getting more into the habit of scoring those runs once they're on. And I think it's easier to score when you do have people on base because you can do some more things. A couple weeks ago we played Sterling. Taylor Mesna had a great squeeze bunt that somehow scored 2 runs. So
you don't see that every day.
No, I don't think I've ever seen that. But just kind of like showing them and getting things moving on the offensive side.
Defensively, softball and baseball so similar. When I think of baseball, I was thinking for the infield, you need to have that good shortstop that can do so many things. When I watch softball, seeing how close that third baseman has to be in, is there a spot on the field that you have to have your best defender out there? What would you say?
If I had to pick one spot, I would probably honestly say shortstop as well,
Okay.
just because they have so much more range to cover. Third, you're going to get some hot shots, but shortstop gets hot shots and has to cover all this ground and cover second on tags and all that stuff, so you really need a senior leader in that position.
I see a lot of third basemen playing in front of the bag.
Mm-hmm.
That is not a very far distance from the dish.
No.
I mean, how do you prep your third baseman for that?
I mean, honestly, just hit balls at
Are
them
you
as hard as you
ripping 'em?
can.
Are you ripping them at him?
Oh, yeah. That's the only way they're going to get better. The harder you hit them at them, the easier and slower they seem in a game. So we work really hard on making sure we're in the right spot, making sure we're not too close and understanding the situation so we don't if they don't have to be up, we don't want them up. So if a batter has 2 strikes and it's a bigger kid, you know they're not bunting. Let's back up a little bit and give ourselves some room.
Taylor talked about the way she's kind of freeing herself up at the plate. Have you seen that from her? What has been the biggest difference you've seen from her first 3 years to now?
I just think the freeing attitude, honestly, she's just going there and she's just getting it done. And honestly, it seems like she doesn't care about the end result. And to me, that's almost a good thing because she's not stressed about the end result. She wants to win. She wants to be successful, but she understands it's a game and she's just going out there and doing what she can and having fun.
And it's a game where you get out more than you get on
Oh,
at every level.
Game of failure.
Yes. Bethany coming up. I know Evangel's coming in later on. We got, I think you got some games with Kansas Christian. There's certainly still games for folks to come see. If you go to buildersports.com, you can check out the schedule. But the game's coming up Saturday with the Swedes. Talk about that matchup.
I think it's going to be a really good matchup, see where we're at. Coming off our game on Tuesday, I think it's going to be, Tuesday. I think it's going to be interesting to see how we kind of match up, how we build off of that. Really going to be important to put the ball in play. They don't have the offensive numbers as most of the teams in our conference, so if we can hold them on defense, we just got to get a couple across. So,
pitching, have you been happy with your pitching staff right now, and how many are you throwing out there? As you wince a little bit there, I noticed.
I'm overall happy with our pitching staff. There's definitely things we can work on and get better at. We do have 4 girls in the rotation. We have typically about 2 girls that start. Emma Wilston and Faith Campbell are our main starters, and then we have 2 girls that kind of fit in where we need them to. Would like to see them go a little bit longer, and sometimes our first inning is our worst inning, so just going in a little more prepared in that first inning, but overall been pretty proud of their growth just from their time here. So,
well, just again, I'm so happy with all that you're doing. I just always wish for the most success for you and your staff. The kind of kids you bring here are true builders, and we saw that just a little bit ago, and appreciate all you're doing here. Best of luck against Bethany and the rest of the games coming forward.
Thank you.
Sarah McAnich joining us. We're going to take a break, and then Trey and Kieran take it over on the other side. This is Builder Sports Live.
Builders, the future is here. We're building the Bruce DeHaven Football Complex, honoring a Southwestern legend who rose from small-town Kansas to the NFL's biggest stage. This isn't just a facility, it's a game-changer for our 150-plus student-athletes, giving them the tools, pride, and community to take Builder football to the next level. And you can be part of it. Sponsor a locker for $600 or make your mark at sccans.edu/make-a-gift. Together, let's honor a legend, empower our athletes, and build the future of Builder football. The time is now.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Builder Sports Live, and a huge thanks to Kurt Caden for taking care of all the interview work with softball this week. And to start off on our looking ahead section for this week, on Friday, men's and women's track and field, they'll head up to Wichita for day 2 of the Friends University invite. In baseball, we'll start off a 3-game home series at home against the University of St. Mary with the first pitch set for 2 p.m. at the Broadway Sports Complex.
Saturday, baseball will have the doubleheader with St. Mary. That'll start at 12 and 4. It's also senior day for baseball. Men's and women's tennis will be home versus Tabor College at 11 a.m. And then flag football will be home. They'll be against Graceland University. That'll be at 1 p.m. And then softball will be at Bethany College at 1 and 3.
A busy Saturday for the Builders, but then we'll take Sunday off and head on to Monday. Men's golf, they'll head to Manhattan, Kansas for the Midwest National Spring Invite. That'll be a 2-day event. And then on the women's side as well, another 2-day event as the women's team heads to the Bethany College Classic. And then as well on Monday afternoon, men's and women's tennis will be at home against Bethel College for a traditional match at 1 o'clock.
Tuesday, softball will have a doubleheader. They'll be at St. Mary. That'll start at 2 and 4. And then baseball will go back to Wichita for a 4 p.m. game against Friends University. So
yeah, it'll be a busy weekend for the Builders and starting off next week. But as always, thank you for watching this episode of Builder Sports Live, and we'll see you guys next week.